This is Molly McCory with the University of Washington's Office of News and Information. I recently spoke with two UW geographers about a book they edited called Seattle Geographies.
I'm Michael Brown. I'm professor of geography at the University of Washington.
And I'm Richard Morrill, emeritus professor of geography.
And we thought it would be really nice to do something that wasn't just for other geographers, but also kind of introduced the discipline of geography and the region to Seattleites.
Pretty much everyone from the UW Geography department contributed to the book, 55 geographers in all, including faculty, graduate students, and undergrads. They came up with a coffee table type book that explains what Seattle is like economically and socially. This taps the expertise that the UW Geography department has been known for since the 1930s. Sections on Seattle's businesses like Boeing, Starbucks, Microsoft, and others describe how the region has fostered entrepreneurs and innovation. Brown talks about why this is.
A combination of physical and human processes coming together, good site, good situation, but a good labor force, intergenerational wealth, public support for education.
In the book, the geographers talk about how characteristics of living in Seattle came to be, like the growth of pea patches, the debate over skate parks, and what it's like to live in Tent City. And they talk about how distinct neighborhoods emerged. Here's Brown again, talking about how Capitol Hill became the center for gay and lesbian life in Seattle, and how that center used to be elsewhere.
A whole wide variety of factors came together and produced Capitol Hill as a gay space. It had been home of large Irish Catholic families, and with suburbanization and white flight, those families moved out. And so who moved in? Who could move in? Young, single, gay folks maybe migrating from somewhere else to come out. And generationally, this was the boomers, right? The largest demographic group in history. And so while my generation might not have made that kind of spatial impact, the boomers did. And before that, gay and lesbian folks would socialize largely down in Pioneer Square. When the boomers came into Capitol Hill, they didn't want to head all the way down there. They wanted a bar around the corner. And frankly, it didn't have to be as secret and closeted anymore.
The Central District is another neighborhood that has seen changes. Morrill studies gentrification in Seattle. Here he is talking about the Central District.
The central area, which is the historic black community, is disappearing as Seattle gentrifies and the black community moves south. But then they have this nostalgic feeling, say about 23rd and Union, as their corner,
right? And
they have a hard time adjusting to the actual change.
Columbia City is another Seattle neighborhood coping with gentrification. Gary Simonson, a former geography grad student at UW, interviewed Columbia City residents about gentrification, and he wrote a section about this in the book. Here's Brown talking about gentrification in Columbia City.
Lots of people who study gentrification look at social class or racial change of in-migrants, people coming into this area. And Gary argued that not enough attention had been paid to the people who stay through the gentrification process, who had been there before it, were there through it, and are kind of coping with it now. I think his findings shows the ambivalence that a lot of folks in Columbia City feel about it.
The University of Washington Press published Seattle Geographies in April. Please visit their website for more information.